What's going on, guys? I'm going to tell you today about how South Korea, they need to grant white South Africans refugee status in their country, and let me explain why. Okay, white South Africans are facing extremely dangerous situations right now in South Africa. Not all of them as a group, but most of them are, and because there is. While this is not most black South Africans, it's a large percentage of them that are that have a vengeful mindset because of the injustices and aggression that happened towards black South Africans during apartheid. But usually the ones that are doing the killing are the ones that have not been oppressed during apartheid, that were born after apartheid, or they were very little during apartheid and didn't experience it. So these killings are unjustified on a number of levels. But Genocide Watch put white South Africans on a scale of 6 out of 8, and 8 being the highest risk of genocide. Okay? The Netherlands have not allowed white South Africans to have refugee status in their country. Canada has not either, by and large, and I think both those countries are wrong to do that. Because right now it is more dangerous to be a white farmer in South Africa than it is to be a policeman, and South Africa has the highest crime rate in the world, or one of the highest. They definitely have the highest murder rate in the world. And with those danger statistics, I think South Korea could do the white South Africans a huge favor, because white South African pilots came to the Korean War and helped save South Korea from brutal North Korean totalitarianism and communism when the South African Air Force came to the Korean War. And those pilots could not control what their government was doing to non-white South Africans at the time. That was just how it was, and those pilots flew very bravely and very gallantly. And 11 of them are interned at the UN Memorial Cemetery in Busan, South Korea. 11 South African pilots. And so this would be a chance for South Korea to return the favor, number one. Number two, if they get refugee status, they should have to take a 6-month course on South Africa's involvement in the Korean War to learn more about what their country did in the Korean War. Because the current South African government doesn't want a lot of South Africans to know that, simply because a lot of the pilots were, or all the pilots in that case, were white South African, and which is reverse racism. And then also, if white South Africans get refugee status in South Korea, they need to have to teach English for 3 or 4 years. So the second thing is, make them teach English for 3 to 4 years, because the language that is most in demand in South Korea is English. So these people will be doing South Korea a favor by helping them compete more in the global economy, because they're teaching them more English. Currently, about 1,000 South Africans do teach English in South Korea. Anyways, I think the South Korean government does need to grant these white South Africans refugee status, so that's why I'm posting this on YouTube. So, hope everyone's doing well. Take care. God bless them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.